Okay, good evening, everyone. I want to thank everyone for showing up today in this inclement weather. And I want to go ahead and tell our street department guys and parks department and sewer department and everybody that's been out working. I know the fire department's helped out as well with truck snow removal. Appreciate the job you're doing. I think the city has done a good job on where we're at. So with that, it is January 6, 2025 at 5 p.m. and it's time to call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Ms. Jones, roll call, please.
Mayor Barnett.
Present.
Mr. Austin.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Please stand for the pledge. All right, thank you. Is there any announcements or public comment that does not contain to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll go on to consent agenda.
Move to approve the meeting minutes from December 16th Board of Works meeting as well as approval of claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
There isn't any old business, so we'll go right into the new business. Board of Works appointment to appoint a member or a representative to the Plan Commission. Joanna Tinnell.
Yeah, so annually, we do have, Board of Works needs to appoint either a member or a representative, which is a little different than City Council. The appointment for 2024 was Jim Martin, and he is willing to serve again.
Joanna, do you know how many years Jim has done this? Off-the-wall question.
I
but-
have no idea.
think the
He's
question's
been
how
doing
many
it
decades?
my
Seriously.
entire
Yeah.
tenure here, so at minimum 18 years.
Okay, well, I really appreciate his knowledge and his long commitment. So with that, I would like to make a motion that we appoint Jim Martin back to the Plan Commission.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Joanna. Okay, the next item, request approval of change order number 9 for the Active Adult Center project. Joanna is filling in for Mark Richards.
So this is change order number 9. The revisions are to revise one of the doors to a double door, including the hardware. Modification to the sink depth and counter height for ADA compliance, along with a cabinet underneath the sink. And then there's also some electrical and data connections that were needed for the bingo board and the time clock. And is there anything else
And
that
Chip,
Chip would like to add?
is there anything else?
No, I'll explain a couple of them to you. One is, they're all program related, because as we're getting closer to this becoming reality, and we're trying to figure out how this is gonna work. The double door actually there was a single door between what I call the program room and the theater. My fear is this place is going to become very popular, so we added a double door so we could open it up. And if, for example, I know a few people have been over there when they have their lunches and stuff like that. So instead of having a room for 120, now it becomes a space for 240. Just with this double door being open. So that's the double door. We got a donation of, I'm not a bingoer, there may be some bingoers in here, an electronic bingo board that goes on a wall that is valued at about $10,000. We thought we would take that because they love bingo over there, and it required an electrical connection, so that's what that's about. And the sink height had to do with the rental part of the facility, that obviously the main kitchen that was in there was ADA compliant, but we found out that, actually I didn't find out, Curtis found out because he's really good at this, found out that the cabinet height was not proper for ADA, so we had to go back and change that too. So that's what those changes are.
It
And the
sounds-
change orders are for $5,710.68, which would bring the contract amount to $4,944,292.13.
Okay, and Chip, we talked about this morning, and I'm not going to pin us into saying there's no more change orders, but do you see very much more of this stuff happening?
No, I don't. Things that are going to cost us. We found some things that they need to correct that you may see, but I don't think it's going to cost us. So. One had to do with, it's funny, they poured there's a stage in this facility, and it's actually pure concrete, so it's not a wooden stage. So they poured it the other day and found out that the door height to get into the, you guys know where I'm going, the door height is now 4 feet and not what it should be because the stage height. So it's just little things. I mean, the Munchkin land could have easily gotten into this door. Little things like that they're correcting, so. But there again, I'm gonna plug Curtis again. Curtis Rooks has 35-plus years experience at building construction projects like this, and he's catching everything, every minute detail you can find, which is great, so.
Well, I appreciate him watching after that.
Yeah.
We'd rather fix it now, or if we do have other change orders, we'd rather do it now than later,
I agree.
so.
So we're requesting approval of the change order and to allow the mayor to sign on behalf of the Board of Works.
So if my calculations are correct, we've only approved about 4% change order on this project. Is that right, Joanna?
I'm doing the math right as we speak.
Okay.
I think you're right.
It looks like the total change orders, $199,673.13 so far. Is that what you got?
Oh, yeah, because it'll be a little higher than 4% because I didn't add the,
19967
Yep.
610. Yeah. Yeah, but just a tad, about
Smidge over.
4.2%.
okay.
Okay.
I'll move to approve change order number 9 for the Active Adult Center project and authorize the mayor to sign on the board's behalf.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next item, request approval of joint use and maintenance agreement with NDOT for the US 31 project. Joanna Tinnell in place of Mark Richards.
Yes, so this is the joint use and maintenance agreement. These are agreements that NDOT is now entering into with local jurisdictions when there is a state project that includes items that are requested by the city and are owned by the city. In this case, it would be sidewalks, trails, and the lighting. So there were some modifications that were requested of the contract, which they agreed to all of them, except for the one request was to ask NDOT to include us as an entity that is informed when utilities pull permits to do construction in NDOT's right-of-way, to allow us to be able to monitor those improvements, make sure that no damages are made to our facilities. However, they indicated that they will not make that modification, but all the other modifications were made. If there's anything else that Ms. Gray would like to add.
I wouldn't, you're right, we talked about this for what, 6 months, Joanna? Or Mark and I, we've gone over it and over, and I'm not real sure why they were reluctant to agree to the language. It was simply requesting that they give us notice if some third-party contractor was going to be in the right-of-way and might do damage to our facility so that we could be there. And they just said no. So I don't have a good rationale other than legal counsel thought we never agreed to anything, so we're not going to agree to it. I don't know. Mark felt strongly that we could do a workaround in the sense that if we're just vigilant and we make sure that we see if anybody's out there in the right of way, we're attentive to that. It does not preclude us from going after whatever contractor does that. I mean, we can still, if somebody comes in, tears something up, we can still go to the contractor. We were just hoping that we would avoid the damage ahead of time, which makes more sense to me. And I would think make more sense to NDOT, but I don't speak for NDOT.
And really, it's no different than what we do now, because half of these contractors that come into town, it's up to us to chase them all over town.
You're right.
That's
You're
why
right.
we're trying to put all these restrictions on them to call us and all that, but I feel comfortable myself that we'll be able to manage this. So, okay.
All right. I will move to approve the construction contract, awarding the construction contract to Milestone Contractors as the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder.
That's the wrong one.
Wrong one. We're on the JUMO agreement,
That
joint
one
use
is-
and management, number 3.
Actually, that was added to the agenda, sorry.
Oh,
It's that one, that's the one.
okay,
Yeah.
that was the separate email that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the one that you asked about. When
Yep.
You're talking about the language from NDOT. That's the one you did ask about. That's why I was looking at you, Tina. I know you asked the questions.
Okay. So I will move to approve the joint use and maintenance agreement with NDOT for the US 31 project.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. That was a last minute, working with the state who wants to bid this job out on the 22nd. That's why we put it on today's and not the 22nd, because they're wanting to go to bid on the 22nd, our next
Okay.
meeting, so. Okay, next item, request, nope, that would be request the following subdivision performance bonds be released for West Wind at Cumberland, Section 2, Assistant City Engineer Matt McRoy, and Joanna's going to fill in for him.
Can the rest of us just leave?
Thinking that too.
Joanna,
We'll
just
play
take
bingo.
it from here. We're going to play bingo.
So for West Winnet Cumberland, Section 2, the survey monuments and street signs have been validated that they are correct. So the request is to release the performance bonds. First one being 5681007, survey monuments for $8,760. And then for street signs, 5681008 for $4,878. Those are to be replaced with the following maintenance bonds: 5847726, survey monuments, 1,825, 5847727, street signs, $1,016.25.
All right, move to approve the subdivision performance bonds be released as presented for West Wind at Cumberland, Section 2. And also to approve the subdivision maintenance bonds for West Wind, Cumberland, Section 2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item, request award of construction contract to Milestone Contractors. LP is the lowest, most responsive, and responsible bidder, and request execution of the construction agreement. We will have Joanna Tinnell filling in for Matt McElroy.
So we do have the Paul Hand Boulevard roadway improvements. There were 2 bids that were submitted. The first one being for Milestone Contractors LP. Base bid was $1,494,000. The second one was Dave O'Mara Contractor, Inc. for $2,467,000. We're requesting that Milestone Contractors LP be awarded the construction contract as the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, and request execution of the construction agreement.
Thank you, Joanna, and I just want to add just a little bit to that. We were waiting on Malarkey. There are $2 million that they're putting in for the project, and as you can see, the bid's 1.49, almost 1.5. However, there were land costs, there were engineering costs and inspection costs, so it's probably still going to be a little bit over the $2 million. However, the story I got ready to tell, we were waiting on Malarkey to transfer the $2 million, and we have here today, I want to put it in the record, they have made the transfer, although Horizon Bank is closed today. So we have the paperwork that they've submitted it, but Horizon has not verified just because they're closed. So I will give that for the record to be there.
So they've deposited with their own account at Horizon?
Yes.
Is that what they've done?
Yeah.
Like an escrow account?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mark indicated that the difference in the bid amounts is likely due to Milestone having a local source of fill dirt.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's what we talked about. I think, Tina, you asked the question about being concerned about the difference.
Yeah.
And I
You
think
usually
that's-
don't see them that far apart.
Yeah, but
All right, I will move to approve the awarding of construction contract to Milestone Contractors as the lowest, most responsive, and responsible bidder.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Joanna. I think that's for you right now. You're done for this meeting. Okay, next one. Approval of quotes for the Greenlawn Cemetery Headstone Repair Project Phase 2. Parks Department Superintendent Chip Orner.
Thank you, Mayor. If you recall, this past year, we actually started that project. Phase 1 was about a little over 50 foundations that were done. This is the continuation of that, so if you want to know where this is at, so if I'm at the chapel, the cemetery, and I'm looking at the front door of the chapel, it's almost everything to the left, within 3 or 4 sections of that. Comes out to be 106 foundations in this go-around. While I was meeting with them, we identified 7 more that were within the vicinity of this, but they were larger than normal. So I had them quote that too. That's why you'll see, when you're looking at the quote, if you look at the details, there's one, if you add them, the 2 together, that's where you get the $49,030. We did attempt to get 3 other quotes, not just 2, because one, as I wasn't comfortable that, I wasn't 100% sure that Franklin Monument was still in business. So I went ahead and had them seek out another quote too. These are all people we've worked with before. Matter of fact, Midwest is who we just bought the columbarium from. And the other one, I can't remember. It's right here in front of me, sorry.
DH Monument
DH,
Foundation.
that's who actually does normal the foundations out there when somebody actually comes today to get a headstone. So we did attempt to get a total of 4. We did have 1 that was responsive and the most responsible but better, so.
And Chip, this same group last year, you was pretty comfortable with the work that they did?
They did actually an excellent job, so I'm actually pretty pleased that they decided to come in and quote it again, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I'll move to approve the quotes for Greenlawn Cemetery Headstone Repair Project Phase 2.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, can I mention one more thing about that since we're there? If this goes really good, there again, it depends on how spring goes, and we can start this thing fairly quickly. I may come back and ask the council to appropriate some more money and keep going, especially if these guys are going to keep giving us good pricing to do it. So maybe we'll get lucky and we'll be able to do 2 phases this year instead of 1. So just want to give you a heads up.
how many phases do you think, first of all, being the frequent walker out there, it really does make a difference.
It does.
looks good. But how many phases do you think it will take to do all of them?
30. To be honest with you. Yeah, there's so many. Last count, I had a count a couple years ago. There were over 16,000 headstones out there. Now, obviously, not all of them are in bad shape, but there are a lot that are.
Well, we have so many veterans that are,
Yep.
pre-World War One.
That's right.
that kind of, yeah.
And you recall, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where we started.
Yeah.
Was kind of in that section. Obviously, people that aren't, around anymore, and they're not going to be able to fix things, and there's a lot of that in this section too. I noticed a lot of these headstones are from the 1800s. So,
Okay, thank you, Chip.
yep.
Okay, there isn't any other business, so we'll go into department reports. And Chip, since you're talking, you're warmed up.
Good, still on. No, just taking care of snow removal downtown for sidewalks and parks, and I just appreciate Brett and Jason. Excellent to work with, and obviously they know if they need anything to call us, and we do the same thing. So that's all.
Thank you. Chief?
Just echo that, Brett, his crew they came over and did our parking lot this morning, so we could get in and out of there, so we appreciate that. It's been a busy day. We did give one of our new officers off to the academy. I mentioned that earlier today. We sent him over last night early just to beat the snow. Academy starts today for 16 weeks for him.
Chief, where's that at? You say you send him?
Plainfield.
Plainfield, okay.
Yeah, so he'll be over there for 16 weeks. And then we have a couple laterals that we are taking, we're doing the pension board hearings on tomorrow. So hopefully get them started late February. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Chief Snyder?
I got word last week that our new ladder truck for the city is almost complete, and I'll be going to check it out next week for a couple days. So hopefully at the end of the month, it will be in Indiana, and we will be taking possession of it hopefully by February.
So it sounds like that's going to Station 21, correct?
Yes, Station 21.
So it sounds like we might have the christening of the truck and the open house at the same time?
Yes. So we're still working with Envoy on getting some things wrapped up. So
Thank you. Sherry?
I do not, thank you.
Siri? See, Sherry, Siri?
Oh.
Rick?
I don't have anything, sir.
Brett, I don't know what you've been doing the last 24, 48 hours, but you got bad?
Just similar comments. I appreciate everybody's help with this event, as always. As you always say, Mayor, but I agree, we have a great team, and everybody gets along very well and communicates well, so we appreciate everybody's help and support. And I think, for the most part, you can get virtually anywhere you want to be in Franklin. It'll get better over time, obviously, but we're still on 24-hour work shifts, 12-hour shifts, 2 12-hour shifts, obviously, but hope to have it cleaned up maybe tomorrow afternoon.
In time
We'll
for the
see.
next one?
Yeah, right, yeah. I saw some more coming maybe Friday, so. But, yeah, a little sunlight would go a long ways.
I know I keep saying it, but good job, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
We
thank
all-
you
we
guys.
all
Thank
do.
everybody up here. It's a great team effort. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Joanna, you got anything else?
Nothing this evening.
Sally?
The permits for the new plant additions have been submitted to IDEM, and now it's just waiting to be approved.
Okay. Jan?
Nothing, thank you.
Tina?
Nothing from me.
Ken?
I have nothing, sir. Other than good job on the snow removal, like everybody's mentioned.
I do have one request. I was contacted by the prosecuting attorney, Mr. Hamner, and they have purchased a golf cart that is more like a shuttle, but it meets our code and our criteria. And their intent is to try to shuttle some of their deputy prosecuting attorneys to the courthouse and back, rather than having them all park cars out here, which would probably help us a bit. And the reason that I was contacted by them is to ask if we would consider, not we, that you would consider waiving the golf cart registration fee. It is $100 per 2-year registration, but we typically do cooperate with them, and I said I would bring it to the Board of Works. Taking the smile off my face, I would say to you, the prosecuting attorney's office does reach out to me when they have arrests and cases that are pending that have involved damage to city property. And oftentimes, if the person has committed a crime, they will include that as part of the restitution owed to us. So there is a relatively good working relationship. So I was not too offended by the $100 request, I guess.
I would rather have that asked than they asked to not put 2-hour parking on East and West Court Street.
Okay.
And we've had that a time or two, so.
Cheap trade.
But I said I would bring it to you, but it is ultimately your decision to waive that fee.
Personally, I'm good with it, myself.
Make a motion to waive it.
Second.
Tina got the second. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Said it? That it?
That's it.
All right, thank you all for the hard work, and we'll see you on the next snow.
22nd?
22nd.
22nd. Yeah, we got the 22nd. That is a Wednesday. That's our next meeting, so. Thank you. Make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Our office.
Good stuff.